Get out of your dens, Cougars!
It's Friday, May 22nd.
I'm Abby.
And I'm Isabella.
And here are your morning announcements.
Oscars are still running this year. This week you have the ability to nominate people for the listed positions provided on the Google form that can be found under school news on the Colonel By website. Make sure to get your nominations in because next week you'll be able to vote on the top 3 nominees in each category.
Want to run for a club next school year? Club registration is up. Check ManageBack for more details. If there are any questions, please contact one of the following emails. The deadline for registration is June 15th.
Summer school registration for OCDSB summer e-learning courses is available now. In-class or face-to-face summer school will not be offered this year. If you're interested in registering for e-learning summer school, the registration form will be available on the Colonel By Secondary School homepage under School News. Registration closes on June 12th. If you have any questions or concerns, please email your guidance counselor.
Now for our weekly message from Mr. Rush. Here's the virtual VP.
Mr. Rush, tell us what you miss the most.
Well, I certainly miss everyone at CB. I miss the students, I miss the staff, and I miss walking into classrooms, visiting everyone, and I certainly miss our athletes out in the field. Like, I'm just such a big Gator fan, and I just can't wait for our students to get back out there.
And why the tie and the name tag?
Well, oh, you noticed. Well, I don't know if you could see here. I left my name tag at school, so I just sort of improvising a bit. It just makes me work better. Yeah, it makes me a better vice principal to have the name tag, I think.
Oh, okay. There's no third question.
Wow, Mr. Rush, always nice to hear from you. Cool name tag. But the Gators? Come on.
Have you ever thought about going to school outside of Canada? Attend the Study and Go Abroad Virtual Education Fair on Thursday, May 21st. The fair will feature universities, professional schools, and colleges from Canada and around the world, offering undergraduate and postgraduate degrees, diplomas, and certificate programs. The fair will run from 8 to 2 on May 21st. It's free, but you must register on the Study and Go Abroad website.
Remember to keep checking ManageBack, your school email, and your Google Classroom regularly, and if you have any questions or concerns, please contact your teachers.
That's all from us today, CB. Here's your Friday show.
Hello, Ms. Williams-Taylor. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. So I have a few questions that I'd like to ask you about the current situation. So how do you feel that students and staff are managing with the continuation of learning from home?
Well, I think that in Ottawa, people are managing quite well. I've had the opportunity to speak with teachers and with a few students, not as many as I'd like, but what I'm hearing are good things. I'm hearing that teachers are using a lot of innovative practices, innovative ideas for engaging kids from kindergarten to grade 12. So I think that there are variances, of course. There are some people who, are struggling more with time. Some are struggling with technology. Some are struggling with managing a variety of priorities. As you know, many of your friends may be working at jobs that keep them busy for up to 30 hours a week. And so it's very difficult to juggle school responsibilities online with doing that work. And then there are others who are actually doing really, really well in this platform and who are really finding it their cup of tea, if you will. So it's quite a variance, but I think that we are certainly progressing.
Yeah. For us, we've noticed it's been a little different learning at home, but I think everybody's getting used to it and they're trying their best. So what accommodations has the OCDSB made to help students who may not have enough technology at home to continue learning effectively?
So one of the things we did when all of this started was we recognized that not all students have mobile technology or technology that they have access to at home. And so we did an assessment and we reached out to find out who had what and what are the needs and so forth. And we've distributed 11,000 Chromebooks altogether, combining between purchasing new as well as retrieving devices from schools and redistributing them. And we've also distributed hotspots. I believe it's almost 1,000 mobile hotspots, so that people who have limited access to internet would also have the ability to get some digital support. So those are some of the things. And we've also done a lot to help teachers to help families to learn how to use the technology and how to use digital spaces, because no one started September with expecting that this was how spring was going to be.
Yeah.
And so there are people who weren't necessarily engaged in using digital platforms. So we created opportunities for people to learn. And it's not just teachers, it's education assistants and early childhood educators and library technicians. So we have all kinds of professionals who have been engaging and continuing to learn so that they can support students in the best way possible.
Yeah, so it can be a pretty tough transition, and by having that support, it's just making things so much easier and making things so much more accessible. So thank you for that. And how closely has Dr. Etches and other members of the Ottawa Public Health worked with you in discussing how the OCDSB should deal with these school reopenings?
Well, certainly Ottawa Public Health is a key partner in all of this work. And so we certainly take our advice from them. It's this whole issue is all predicated on health, well-being, and safety. And so we really need to, we have really been drawing from their expertise to help to inform the decisions that we're making. So it is a very regular contact and a very close partnership.
So we're seeing a lot of significant changes in schools in Quebec and around the world who have reopened. So what types of things are we expecting to see in the OCDSB when our schools reopen?
Well, that's a really super question. We, the senior team, we have been talking about those ideas. We've been talking with teachers and principals about their ideas, and it's very hard to look at other jurisdictions and make a prediction for Ottawa because every jurisdiction has its own nuances. We know that the health professionals have indicated that we will still need to take very good care around hand washing, around distance. And so for those reasons, we know for sure that that will be the case in September. So what that looks like in terms of how school works is something that we're all trying to grapple with, and lots of ideas are coming forward. So I wouldn't want to put any of those ideas out at this point, because I don't want people to have a supposition that this is what we've decided on. But I will say to you that we certainly are drawing not just on examples provincially, but nationally and internationally to look at what has worked. Because some jurisdictions in international settings have tried things that have not worked so well, and others have come up with some really neat ideas that we had not thought of.
Okay, so it's kind of like a work in progress and trying to find the best solution. Yeah, that's great. So what are some things you personally have found challenging during these last 2 months? I know it's very hard for everyone to stay at home and be productive. So any personal challenges that you'd like to share?
Well, it's really interesting. Working from home, a lot of times people get excited about the notion about working from home. But one of the challenges with working from home is actually creating divisions in your routine. So one of the things I noticed very quickly the first week was, when I'm at work in the office, I get to the end of the day, and sometimes the days are long. So sometimes the end of the day is not till 8 or 9 o'clock at night. But at least when you get to the end of the day and you leave the office, then you break the day and you start into a different routine, a home routine. When you're working from home, you don't have that physical break. So you can find yourself just, it all just melds together. And that's not necessarily a good thing for personal well-being. So trying to establish boundaries and parameters around when it's working and when you're not working, when's family time and when is work time, is something that you have to do intentionally. I don't know that I do it successfully every day, but I am aware that it's something that I have to work on, because that is an important part for maintaining a healthy work day, if you will, or a work routine. So that's something that I personally have found a challenge and that I've had to put my mind to, because it's important.
Yeah, I can totally see that. My parents are also working from home, and it's hard to kind of end their day when their day is ended. They always want to work and they always want to keep going. So those are all the questions that we have for you. It was really wonderful having the opportunity to speak with you, and thank you so much on behalf of the entire Colonel Bai community.